Now that you are in NLS and looking back at your CLAT journey, right? So was it all worth it?
The outcome of that would probably come to me in at the end of my fifth year, because like most people told me, this is supposed to be a journey, and if I go with expectations in mind, I'm going to be sitting in my room crying for the rest of my life.
True.
I suppose in NLS you don't really have a study routine, because every step you take you're going to be dealing with academics, so it kind of becomes a part of life rather than the whole Indian concept of padhai with a capital P. You have three aspects. You can academic life, social life, and sleep. You can't have all three at the same
Right.
time.
Hello students, welcome to the official YouTube channel of Law Prep Tutorial. Yet another topper, and this time from CLAT 2025 All India Rank 3, Ananya Tamaskar. Hi Ananya, how are you?
Hi, all well, although I suppose coming from NLS, that's more of a subjective statement.
Okay, and why is that so?
Well, it's a lot of fun. We have a lot going on, too much going on, in fact.
Okay, and that,
But-
since you have mentioned it, we're
Right.
going to discuss this in this. So first thing, what are you struggling with? Like, so for example, before CLAT, you were all pumped up to go to NLS, and now that you're here, what are the thoughts? Are the feelings same?
I don't know. I suppose I didn't really come here with expectations in mind. It's like a memorable X, so to speak. You have good experiences which you remember, but you're dealing with the bad experiences every day. So
Nice way that you have put it up over here. Okay, I hope students who are preparing for CLAT 2026, I don't know how will they take that. Never mind. Okay, tell me. So since you have joined, so how is life? How is there, the schedule has been changed, study routine back then, study routine now. How are you dealing with them?
I suppose in NLS you don't really have a study routine, because every step you take you're going to be dealing with academics, so it kind of becomes a part of life rather than the whole Indian concept of padhai with a capital P. I suppose the three setting meme comes to mind. So it's you have three aspects. You can academic life, social life, and sleep. You can't have all three at the same
Right.
time. So currently I've turned off my sleep schedule for the other two.
And I just heard you guys also are getting extra classes on weekends too.
Oh yes, I just came back from three consecutive classes on a Saturday, so that was fun.
So now you have only Sunday to yourself.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Okay, so there might be any surprise class.
Not class. I mean, we don't have classes on Sunday, thankfully. Saturdays are usually a weekend, like a holiday. But in case luck happens to strike, well,
Okay. So now that you are in NLS and looking back at your CLAT journey, right? So was it all worth it?
probably. I mean, that the outcome of that would probably come to me in at the end of my fifth year, because like most people told me, this is supposed to be a journey, and if I go with expectations in mind, I'm going to be sitting in my room crying for the rest of my life.
True. Great
So-
point. And I can see that you're sticking to it. Right. Okay. So Ananya, tell me one thing. At right now, what is the only NLU experience that you had?
Probably our orientation sessions, which were like twice a week in the first month, and
Okay, so they are twice a week.
no, that's a bit of hyperbole, but we had very frequent orientation sessions, and most of them were just sitting down and listening to people yap in a hello fellow kids kind of way. So
Let's just skip that. Let me come to the CLAT strategy part only. Okay. So Ananya, you prepared for CLAT while you were in 11th or 12th?
I started in 11th grade.
11th only. So your foundation, you had enough time to clear your foundation, right? So any particular strategy that you followed in 11th that would help all the 11 students who are planning to appear for CLAT 2027?
Well, for one, I did make it a point about 3 months into preparation. I started in April 2023, and about 1 or 2 months of prep in, I started attempting mocks. And even if I didn't get a good score, it was just for the experience. So initially, before the whole 120 marks revision came in, mocks were out of 150 marks, and I think my first mock was like 69 marks approx.
Okay.
And after that, they did vary a lot. So sometimes I could go to 90s, 60s, 70s. So there was a lot of variation, and it was a bit problematic for confidence. But I'd say, my coming to the point, it would be not to be deterred by fluctuations, because in the end you're doing it for the experience, and you need to put all that experience in on the
Right.
day of the examination.
So I think a disclaimer needs to be put here. Ananya was in 11th while he,
Yeah, so
chose to
yeah,
do this.
right.
So for all those who are in 12th, refrain from doing this.
Right.
Only once you get your foundation clear, your basics sorted, only then jump to mocks, right? And now that we are talking about mocks, how important are sectionals and topic test?
Topic tests are sort of a base for sectionals, I'd say. So once I started with one-liners for my foundations, then once I had a certain degree of familiarity, I moved on to sectionals, and that did reflect in my mock scores later on. So it's sort of a it was a bit of a hierarchy for me. So you can't really skip topic tests, and you can't compromise or
Okay.
either.
You just cannot directly jump over full
Yeah.
length test. You have to first go step by step.
Right.
Right? And how many mock tests were you giving?
At some point, I was giving like 4 or 5 a week, but to avoid burnout, I usually tried to keep it to 2 or 3 a week at max.
Okay, okay. And also tell me which one particular section was the pain point for you?
Pain. All of them at some point, because it wasn't that I had trouble in any one particular section. If sometimes all of them went bad except for QT, and it really depended on the type of topics and questions that came in. But the one section that really stood out as one I needed to work on was GK and current affairs.
GK and current affairs. And
Yes.
what was there any particular strategy that you adapted to?
I guess a day or two before the CLAT examination, I looked up the Wikipedia page for everything that happened in 2024 and went through it. So
Okay. And
actually
was that helpful?
yes, but I wouldn't recommend doing it unless you have a like you like going into big rabbit holes. So
Okay, okay. And now that you have mentioned you also were facing difficulties in quant, right? So how you overcame that?
no, cons were slightly difficult initially, because again, after 10th grade you don't tend not to practice the whole thing for like 1 or 2 months. So getting into it took me a few weeks. That too I did with the whole one-liner then sectional structure.
Okay.
But otherwise, QT was very easy if it involved percentages and ratios. It was again certain topics that were a problem. Let's say permutations and combinations, for example. So otherwise, it was just a matter of practice.
So did you ever thought of skipping quant at all?
Never. It was the only section I had a surety in.
Okay, even though you were quite, not happy with it, you
No,
still.
I actually was quite happy with QT, because it was a good breather after the whole legal review
Right,
section.
whole comprehension thing. This was
Yeah.
something that you get to do practically.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And Ananya, what's the piece of advice that you'll give to the CLAT aspirants? Two things that they should do for their, actually what they must do for their CLAT preparation, and two things that they should completely avoid doing.
I'd say never skip mocks, or at least give one mock every week at the very least, and do analyze it, because you do not want to make the same mistakes again. And that's just general life advice, actually. And second, I'd say do not ever compromise on QT. It is the only thing saving you from the jaws of the consortium. what you and I think that makes one of each, what you should and shouldn't do.
Right.
And you should not limit yourself. Don't think, oh, I'm getting such and such scores in my mocks. I know a person and he got a very good rank as well, under 100. He started his prep like 3 weeks earlier, and he got 50s and 60s in his mock scores, but he still got a good rank. So the point is to work on your mistakes and learn, rather than have a hyper tunnel vision on your mock scores. And what you should not do, worry. Do not worry.
Do not worry.
Yeah.
All well ends well.
Yeah.
Okay, did that for you?
Yeah, I mean, worry never really helped. For some people, it does boost performance because they have performance anxiety. They want to do well, so they practice more. But for me, it becomes a hindrance, because rather than actually attempting the paper, I'm more thinking about all the possibilities. Oh, HPNLU chale gaye to kya hoga, or something like that.
Right. Okay, and how important is revision?
I'd say one of the most important aspects of competitive preparation, because even if you have worked on a topic for long enough, you need to come back to it so you can make connections to what else you have learned, and just refreshing the topic in general, so you have a hold on it. And even if you are going into the exam with a fever, or like half just if you're going into it half asleep, you'd still be able to do it. So if you're able to do it half asleep, you've covered the topic well enough.
Okay, that's some really great insights you're getting from Ananya. Thank you, Ananya. I wish you
Thank you
all
so
the
much.
best.
Thank you.